Day 3 was mainly a bird watching day, but with some sightseeing on the way. Our first stop was a market, before going on to the Hindu temples, the Tare Mandir and the Temple in the Sea. We briefly stopped at nearby mudflats before travelling on to the Pointe-à-Pierre Wildfowl Trust. Later, we took a trinny meal before a boat trip on Caroni Swamp, after which we returned to town for an evening exploring carnival preparations. Here's the view back to town as we head out. We hadn't gone far before we sighted snowy egrets beside the road. First stop was the market. Some of the produce was familiar to us. Some was different. And some, like these pig's tails, were unusual. We're off again. Half an hour later we arrived at the Tare Mandir. This Hindu temple and yoga centre is a pink confection dating from 2003. Grey concrete elephants provide water for devotees to wash their feet before entering the main mandir. In the grounds is an 85-foot high Hanuman statue, reputedly the largest outside India. There's also a large cutout of a guru, Sri Swamiji. Here's the Temple in the Sea. Sadhu Sudas, an Indian labourer, constructed it there because he was not allowed one on land. Week after week, he piled stones by hand 500 feet from the shore, and after 17 years had his temple. In 1994, repair works were undertaken, and this bridge was added. Next to it is a Hindu crematorium. The mudflats south of the Temple in the Sea are alive with birds. Great egrets, red ibis, terns, black skimmers and gulls. Here's a common black hawk. A laughing gull, and black vultures congregate on the fishing boats. The Pointe-à-Pierre Wildfowl Trust is in the middle of an oil refinery. As we arrived, peafowl welcomed us. This macaw was bred here. We walked down the track to the lake and were met by these whistling ducks. There was an abundant flora and fauna to enjoy on the lakeside walk.
You're right, ginger torches. Yeah. Well,
Andrew showed how soft the tree trunk was, but Dawn didn't just take his word for it. But the main interest was the birds. Here are some Muscovy ducks. A black-crowned night heron, a white-lined tanager, a giant cowbird, neotropic cormorants, and more whistling ducks. Across the lake we saw a green kingfisher and a blue heron. This snakebird was impressive.
Oh yes, I've heard of that.
Time for a fishing trip.
easy way to tell the difference.
It's easy to see why it's called a snakebird when you see it fishing.
Yeah, I missed him there.
Red ibis are being bred in one of the aviaries. Next, we head north for a meal and then on to our trip on Caroni Swamp. Here's an osprey we saw on the way.
So long that you could see it.
At 4 o'clock we joined this group of serious birders for our trip
While going
on
along, we'll
Caroni
do some
Swamp.
birding, and then as well as birding, we'll be looking for snakes, caimans, iguanas, anteaters and stuff like that.
We spent the next hour and a half meandering through the mangroves, spotting birds. The evening light made for a beautifully relaxing trip through the mangroves, but the torrent of different birds left the passengers behind us twitching with excitement. I felt it too, and I managed to video a few of the more cooperative birds they saw. Here's an antivireo on top of a tree with a termite's nest. Hummingbirds, a grey-lined hawk, a kingfisher, a red ibis, a blue heron, a young blue heron, and a putu. We also saw this Trinidad boa. As sunset approached, we entered the lake, where the island on which the ibis, egrets and herons roosted, and then waited for their arrival. The sea is west of us, and the mountains are to the east. Here's an early wave of red ibis coming in from the east. It was a tremendous display. They pass over the roosting area several times. As each bird selects its roost. Here come some blue herons to roost. And now some white egrets. For 40 minutes, wave after wave come in. Some from the west and some from the east. As we leave, hundreds of latecomers arrive. You don't have to be a bird to marvel at this spectacle. As the light falls, we head back through the swamp to our start point. Even in the dark, the birders don't stop. This is the end of our Caroni Swamp trip. Tonight, we're going to see carnival preparations. These we shall see later in the video.